Mm, mm. Hello, Paula. How are you? Let me just take this off the screen. How are
Hello,
you?
sweetie. We look very small.
I know. Why has it gone like that? Let me just do this. There we go. Oh, there we are. Beautiful. I prefer this mode. I don't feel like my face looks as big.
How are you, gorgeous?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you. So much going on right now, isn't it?
I know. It's mad, isn't it? So I
Absolutely.
know I was on your birthday live yesterday, and that was really fun. So thank you for having me on.
Thank you
And
for coming.
oh, of course. I know I haven't been around for a while, but I mean it. I'm back long term. Okay, I know I'm a very flaky person, but I promise you, I'm staying unless I die. I'm gone.
Ooh, don't say that.
Other than that, I'm staying on YouTube, so it's fine. I've made a commitment to myself. Hello to everybody in the side chat. Thank you for joining this evening. So, Paula, I wanted to really speak to you about the Bazaar magazine. Again, I know we touched on it a bit yesterday. And also, you know, the cosplaying of Diana. So I've got a few photos I'm going to whip up just as backdated evidence. But I mean, what's your take on this kind of copycat dress code? Even the poses are the same. I mean, what's your take on that, and why is she doing it?
Well, why isn't she doing it? I mean, this woman, it's just surprising to me. You know, I read it. I'm actually working on an article. I just did my video today, guys. I think it's a very good video. But it's interesting how, because I talk about Meghan Markle being finished, but she just doesn't know it because nobody wants to tell her.
She's finished.
Yeah, she's finished. I mean,
oh, finished.
No, I'm serious. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. I got, yeah. I
Just
thought you said she
just
was
think of this,
finished.
Victoria. This woman, before having the use of a royal title, because she doesn't own the title. Only the monarchy owns all royal titles, and the title was not gifted to her; it was gifted to Harry, and she gets to use it as a courtesy. But it's not her royal title. I'm going to be on a warpath with everybody when they keep going that Meghan Markle's title. The king should strip Meghan Markle of her title. No, he can't strip her of something that was not gifted to her.
Yes.
You know, she gets to use it because she was allowed to use the title that her husband was gifted. It was the queen who gifted the title to her son, Harry. She can't be gifted a royal title because she's not of royal blood.
Well, I was thinking this as well. That's what I thought. Mary Taylor. I thought she meant finish. I thought Paula meant finish. I was like, she's not Nigerian
No, but
anymore.
also career-wise, she's done. Career-wise, she's done.
Finished. Yes. No. I know what you mean.
Career-wise, this woman has done full circle, trashing the royal family, increasing their risk level by 200%.
Well,
Just to go back to California to be doing cameos again in B-list movies. So she's back to doing the same thing, but this time she's besmirching a royal title.
Well, so I have read that she's very anxious at the moment that apparently Harry is looking to reconcile with Princess Catherine, and she's a bit worried that they're going to all kind of reunite. play happy families. There's talk of them going over there for Christmas because Harry's really keen, because of his dad being ill now. I think he's trying to connect the bond and sort of have some sort of relationship. And she doesn't really want that. She still wants the divide. But I think if she still pushes them away, will she not be more likely to be stripped of this title that she wants to hold onto so dearly? We've seen what's happened to Prince Andrew, no longer Prince Andrew anymore, which is a big shock considering he is royal blood. Is she kind of
this is the thing. This is the thing, Victoria. People think that
yeah.
because you're a member of the royal family, you have to have royal titles. That's not it. When you're a family member of the royal family, means that you're related to them. Doesn't mean that. Look at Sarah Dindal and and Peter, what's his name, and her brother. And her brother. They don't have titles. There's lots of royal family members who don't have titles. Just because you're related to the monarchy or that's what makes you royal, that you're related to the current sitting monarch.
Yes, but because they are, I mean, he is closer to the throne than most, isn't he?
That should be more worrisome. In my very humble opinion, that should be more worrisome. And I do believe that there should be some laws that have to be made if the king doesn't want to strip Harry of all titles. I mean, Harry had been bitching for years that he didn't want to be a prince, that he hated the UK. Grant his wish. Grant his wish. Like let him not be a prince. Turn him into Henry Charles Albert David Mountbatten Windsor. Grant him his wish.
Well, this is the thing. I think that once their titles go, where are they in the pecking order of life? I mean, that's really kind of all they have to solidify their kind of state.
But that's not the monarchy's responsibility, is it?
No.
The monarch's responsibility is to ensure that the monarchy thrives and that the monarchy remains respectable, credible. That's the role of the monarch, and he is, after all, the head of state of the United Kingdom and other realms.
And that's correct. And I do think, as time goes on, if they're not playing a part in the royal family, what is the point of having them having the titles? Surely Prince William, I think he probably will move in that direction once he becomes king. And I'll be honest with you, Paula, the way I'm seeing King Charles at the moment, I do feel like he's very frail at the moment. He doesn't look very well. I do think he's going to have, and I hate to say it, but quite a short reign. I mean, what's your take on his health at the moment?
I don't think he's that sick.
Do you not?
Nope, not at all. Oh. Listen, and unfortunately, what I'm about to say sounds cold, but if he's that ill that he can't make the proper decisions that are best for his subjects, which are in the billions now, guys, because it's the United Kingdom and the realms, plus being the head of the Commonwealth. If he can't make the decisions for people, for his subject first, because Harry's feelings and Meghan's feelings, and I grant his health, fine. If his health should take priority, if he's incapable of making those decisions, then they should make him step aside. It is okay. And what I'm going to say is going to sound more controversial. He should step aside, concentrate on his health, like really for reals.
And I completely agree. I completely agree with you, Paula. However, the institution doesn't normally allow for that to happen. So what they'll do is they'll have people rallying around anyone that's unwell, even when Churchill was unwell.
What do you mean the institution doesn't allow for that to happen?
So, for example, the Queen, by the end of her life, by the end of her reign, I don't think she was doing the majority of the work. I do believe the institution were pretty collectively pulling up the legwork and doing most of the legwork because she wasn't really able to do it. She was an elderly lady. So if we've got someone like King Charles that is sick, I do think the institution are probably putting more behind the scenes work in than we know of, because he's obviously has to recover and get better. His health isn't going to allow him to do a lot of the jobs that need to be done. And this happens as well with, in Churchill was sick, the same thing. When he was sick, everybody else was doing all the work. It was all kind of, as long as everything looks stable on the outside and smooth, a lot of things are not kind of shown, and I do believe.
No, I agree with you, Victoria, but at the end of the day, the decisions in regards to titles fall down to the king, to the monarch.
Oh yes,
So,
yes.
for example, at this moment, there are certain things that are within his purview. And
Yeah.
people are saying, well, he's the father. No, 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 no. I get that. I absolutely get that. But if he can't pull the trigger on that and he's allowing Harry and Meghan Markle, I mean, it had to become so extreme for Andrew. And you know what really angered me is that people kept saying, well, the queen left him at this mess. That was 3 years ago.
Mm.
And it wasn't the queen. In fact, Camilla Parker Bowles was the one who brought brought Fergie back into the official duties of the monarchy. She put her in the court circular in 2016. That was Camilla Parker Bowles. It's Camilla Parker
Mm.
Bowles who is incredibly close to Fergie.
Yes, yes. And a lot of the women behind these powerful men are the backbone of what happens. Even Einstein, Charles Dickens,
Yeah, but
their
I get that. I
wives
get that. I don't think that
were
Charles should be
yeah.
excused.
Oh no,
I think
I
that
don't think it's yeah. No, I don't for a second believe that there's anything wrong with him still being the monarch, being the king. I don't think there is anything wrong with it, but I do think it won't last for very long because I do
I
think he
disagree. I
looks
think he's
ill
going to
to
live up
me.
until his 90s.
I don't know. I think he looks a
Let me
bit
tell you
ropey.
something. Let me tell you something. Leslie Handy, they should be made to retire at a certain age. Two things. One of the
Mm,
things I've been proposing in my channel is what is wrong with setting age limits before you can take the throne. So if you reach 65, you should step
mm.
down. That's the working age. Because first of all, there's nothing wrong with that. At 65, you're competent. It's a huge position.
But
Yes,
what
people
about
say
then?
it's
You've got
unconstitutional.
but what about the prime ministers and presidents that we have? They're in
Everybody
their
should be 65.
70s.
I
Look at
think 65
Biden.
is the
Biden
age.
wasn't very well, was he? And he was just the puppet
No, and
there
he
that was
was allowed, but
doing
then again, they become puppets of somebody else. So you don't have a
this is what it
person.
is. You don't.
That's
You have
what the
someone
problem is. I think that
that
people should start being more and holding people more responsible. I'm sick and tired of people allowing the status quo to remain. You know what?
yes.
65, there should be a minimum age of you have to be at least 45 and you have until 65 to become king or be king. After that, it should not be
Well,
if you know that's it. Then you let somebody else be.
I just don't believe in writing somebody off at 65. I do think if you've got the
But it's
mental
not for that. It is
capacity,
not for that. Okay, okay. Then we
if
end up with somebody like you said, the queen who was in her late 90s, and she's not the
yes,
one taking the decisions.
yes,
We have shady people in government making those
yeah.
decisions. So effectively, the government is basically using the monarchy as puppets. And the
Mm.
whole point of the monarchy is to be separate than the government.
Yeah, no, of course they are, but I think the institution as a whole it rallies around the king or queen anyway. I don't think it's a one man band, and it's the same with the government. It isn't really a one man band, but I do think if you're representing a country, you have to have all your faculties. Biden didn't have all of his faculties. He was, he'd gone at that point, which is really sad that he was put in that
It's
position
illegal. No,
anyway.
no, it's not sad. That was
But
illegal
I
because
think
to
it's
this
sad to
day,
watch him
no,
like
to
that. It
this
was
day, they're
quite.
supposed to take mental competency test. They
Well,
were
he
never.
wasn't.
It was clear that this man was not. And I always blamed his wife because to me, his wife is worse because he was mentally incompetent, and I believe
Mm,
that she allowed him to be ridiculed and to be used that way for money. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion. His wife to me is a criminal. And if this is proven that he was mentally incompetent, like a lot of
mm,
things are coming out right now, they should all go to jail. But going
mm,
back to the monarchy, like with Charles, if he is that ill, move aside because we're talking that in order to spare Charles' feelings, so he doesn't pull the trigger and grant Harry his wish of always being just Harry, and spare Harry's feelings and spare Meghan's feelings, the entire nation, the United Kingdom, and all the realms have to suffer. Can you understand? Can somebody please make that logic stick to me?
well, I think time is a massive indicator of how this is going to go play out because the longer they go without having any roles whatsoever, it's very hard to fight for that title. You can't say, well, I want that title, but you're not doing anything within the royal family. And I think as the years progress, time will, basically erode that from them, I think, because they're not
But they do damage,
representing.
Victoria. They do damage. Harry
Yes.
was here in Canada. Harry was just here in Canada. The Canadian government, and I'm telling you because I saw with my own eyes, the Canadian government gave him an entire motorcade of at least 7 police cars. When I tried to go to Sunnybrook Hospital, I couldn't even get close 500 meters, because they were like absolutely looking for people. There was even like a bomb squad, I think it was, because the car looked like that. The government of Canada, Harry's meeting with people in Canada, talking to indigenous people that he's going to sort things out. He's being addressed as His Royal Highness in Ukraine and Nigeria, doing the inspection of the guards in Colombia. Why do you think these governments do that? And by the way, when he went to Nigeria, when he went to Colombia, when he went to Ukraine, there were courtiers from Buckingham Palace, from the king, that were sent to be with Harry's team. Why? And now, another thing that really bothers me is that people say, oh, well, Harry didn't notify the royal family. Well, Harry did. Harry's complaining that he did. First of all, Victoria Beckham doesn't write to the palace to let them know that she's going to have
Was she not?
no. So if Harry's truly out of the royal family, why
Yeah.
must he let everybody know that he's up to? Doesn't make any sense, does it?
There's still a level of control there because what he still has a degree of representation because he is the son of the king.
No, but
And
this
I think
no.
whatever he does, he still has.
But this is the dangerous part, Victoria, that this has to be made clear. And the only way you're gonna make it clear is by removing all titles, or at least
Yes,
setting up,
and
or at least making laws that say you cannot use royal titles for commercial purposes, period.
I do not disagree with you at all. I believe that their titles should be gone, but I don't think it will be done while the king is alive. I do think it's going to be a Prince William job.
But that shouldn't be like that. But this is the thing: if he were a decent father, he wouldn't be putting this on William. Because this is allowing gangrene to expand. Time, it takes, you may work really hard on your reputation for 100 years. It takes seconds to destroy it.
Sure
And
does.
he's letting Harry and Meghan Markle run around amok, using royal titles for God knows what. We know that Meghan Markle is using the HRH and Harry as well. And the problem is that the mainstream media and the palace are not saying you can't use it. The Queen issued a royal command. This was not if and or but. This was not asking Harry and Meghan's permission. Our late Queen said you're not to use HRH. She didn't say you can use HRH for this, but not for this. Is not. No, you don't get to use HRH. What have they done? They're wiping their asses with it.
That's the new toilet roll on the As Ever website.
It's the Queen's edict, that was a
well,
royal command.
I can send her a lot of ideas. If she just gives me her email, I can send her some really good ideas and she'll be rich.
Yeah, but they're literally wiping their asses, and they're saying, "Well, the Queen said that they could use it in private." And this is why I've asked many times: can somebody please point to me where in that royal command that was an order? The Queen was not asking Meghan's permission. This is why Meghan gave that bitchy thing and said, "You don't own the word royal." Well, she owns the use of those titles.
Yeah. Well, I do agree with you wholeheartedly that, they shouldn't have them. They really don't represent the royal family anymore, and they do use it for their own gains and for their own advantage. I think it's more so her, though. I do think he still wants to have do charity work and be a humanitarian, but she, on the other hand,
he never did, Victoria. That's the thing that people don't know.
I think it's still in him. I feel like
this is what really makes me laugh. Okay, Harry was never charitable. Harry was never nice. Harry had a great Buckingham Palace machine. You know why he ended up in Lesotho?
Go on.
Because the royal family, because of the Eton scandal, because you see, the teacher wrote the essay for him to get a passing grade in order for him to be enlisted in Sandhurst. But then it leaked because the teacher sued Eton and they settled and she won, because they fired her. And then she goes, "Why are you firing me?" And then she sued them and she revealed that she was the one who wrote the things, which means that Harry did not get the grade that he needed in order to be enlisted in Sandhurst, right? So he got into a huge scandal with drinking and drugs at the same time. This is why even the army, the military at the time said, I have even Penny Jr. on record saying on a documentary about Harry that everybody knew because her son was around the same age as Harry and he was coming around the pub that he was there. Everybody knew that he had issues with alcohol and with drugs. And it was common knowledge. And when the story broke about him being caught doing the deed, then what happened is that what do? He was so out of control that decided to send him to Lesotho, which was a remote area, because they said he's not going to get in trouble. Because first they sent him to Australia for a gap year. The gap year turned into 2. After 3 months, he had to be whisked out of Australia because of the scandal with a young girl.
Drugs are expensive in Australia as well. That's
no, but do you remember in the Harry's book where he says that he was surprised to find out? He himself says that the Queen really liked him because when he found out recently that when he was in Australia doing his gap year, that the Queen had sent 5 of her most senior PR people, and they were like about a kilometer away. It wasn't because she cared about it, because he had his bodyguards. It was because of damage control.
Yes, of
this
course.
Man is nasty. So they made him. He has never done charity work himself, Victoria. The royal family have used charity to put. Listen, you're watching the real Harry, and this is the problem I have with a lot of people, that they don't want to admit that this is the real Harry. Look what he's done with Centevale when it's been left to his own devices. I mean, look what he's done with African parks.
No, I get there's a degree of that, but what he always falls back on is that line of work, that kind of commitment.
No, he falls back on that line of PR, which has always worked for Buckingham Palace. Because let me give you another example. 2007, this man in September 2007, News of the World break the story that Harry's snorting vodka mixed with the white devil. It's all over the front papers. Young Turks, you can still find Young Turks there about it, right? I can share the video while we're doing live if you want. So
you can. I'm down for that.
Okay, I'll show you Young Turks print Harry, because so what happens is, keep in mind that Harry at that time, he was in the army. He was in the army, right?
Yeah. You're not allowed to do that in the army. How do you get that out of your system in the army?
You can't.
There must be ways. I think there are ways to get that.
No, okay. Here, I'm going to show you Young Turks. Here, I'm going to show you Young Turks. Just one second. I'm going to share with you. Given that he was in the army, in the military, sorry, this is at the end of August, beginning of September. This is in Namibia. Some of his friends took pictures of him and they sold it to News of the World. This is why Harry hated News of the World, because they exposed everything about it.
Yeah, they were pretty brutal back then. The Sun and the News of the World were insanely
but they were exposing the truth, who he was. So what happened was that, let me see. I'm sharing with you.
You send it to me.
Okay, I'm sharing with you.
Sorry. Yeah, no, it's at the bottom. Sorry, hold on. There we go. Right, let's go. Let's do this. I have to remove something else. What have I got on there? I haven't got anything on there. Hold on. Let me just stop this rather.
But anyways, so what happened is, basically Harry managed to escape all the drug tests that were there, right?
Yeah.
So had Harry been tested, because he was snorting vodka, but it was with something else, they just didn't want to say it.
Snorting vodka
with something
you
else.
can put it through your eyeball. It gets your bloodstream quicker if you just
listen to this
through the eye. Let's go.
What's he doing now?
Well, pictures have surfaced of him basically snorting vodka.
What?
Oh, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Not cool at all. All right, let's have a conversation. First of all, I didn't know you could snort vodka.
Neither did I. Never heard of it.
Yeah. It turns out it shoots straight into your brain and bypasses your liver. What's your thoughts about that? Is that a good idea?
Probably not. It goes through the liver for a reason, right? Mm-hmm. So if it goes straight to your brain, I think scientists and doctors have said that it could kill you. So
rock and
now, What's happening here is that he was not snorting vodka. He drank the vodka and snorted something else. But back then, they didn't even want to say that he was snorting something else because
Wow.
they didn't want to call it right because they were not there.
Yeah.
So what happened is the army, this is at the beginning of September, mid-September, there was a huge scandal back in the United Kingdom. So what was the royal family's answer to this? We're going to send them to Afghanistan and we're going to leak it.
Yeah.
The,
Yeah.
the hero, because what should have happened is what the military said at the time
Yeah.
when it was found out about Eton, about the
Yeah.
comments he said about the soldier, about the racist comments he said about the soldier, about the Nazi uniform. The army wrote, the military wrote and said he's not fit to be in the military. He
Yeah.
shouldn't be allowed in the military. So what did the royal family do? They sent him to Afghanistan.
Yeah. It's the best place to
the image
go.
of the soldier. How dare you criticize him? It's a soldier.
Gives him routine, structure, responsibility, makes a man.
But it
Going
didn't
into
work.
the-
It didn't work. So this is what happened 2007, 2008. This is what we get, that he got sent to Afghanistan for those
Yeah.
weeks, right? Because they're trying to control him. The fact that he was flown out of the base when it was announced that there was a drug test, and suddenly the palace needed him, so they flew him in a helicopter out of the base.
Oh wow.
Harry is a nasty piece of work, and then the scandal in
well,
2011.
I do believe he's quite a selfish person. But I mean, do you think that might have a lot to do with his being intoxicated a lot of the time? That can make you quite selfish, self-absorbed, woe is me, victimhood mindset. A lot of people on drugs are like that, they kind of are stuck in the same place. And he kind of reminds me of that. Well, I don't think he's a good guy, no, but I just don't like to believe he's as bad as her. I always have a little bit more
They're both as bad as each other, Victoria.
faith that he may evolve into this swan one day.
Okay, tell me something. Okay, let's go with this. Okay, tell me why, given everything that's happened.
No,
given everything
right.
that's happened.
Yes, I should stop being so optimistic, really.
No, never mind about that. No, that's great. Given everything that's happened,
yeah,
do you think that he deserves a break? Given what he did and he said, the things that he not only said himself, but has allowed others to say about his family, his dying grandmother, his dying grandfather, Catherine, who was the sister he never had.
Yeah.
The things that he's done, realistically speaking, this is himself on his own without the palace's shackles. This is Harry. Do you think he's a nice person, Victoria?
I don't think he's a nice person, but I think he's nicer than her. I think he's got more of a conscience, and I think he may have a twinge of doubt about how he's operated, and have some regrets, slightly, just a little bit more than she does. But I'm not saying he's an angel, far from it. But I do think that he wants to reconcile with his family, and I think she doesn't want that to happen.
Okay. Harry's a 40-year-old man. Harry is a 40-year-old man. By all standards, he's entitled and has a temper.
He does have a temper.
Okay.
He does.
So
you're right.
He is in charge of his own destiny.
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not saying that he doesn't have his own mind.
I'm just wondering where this is coming from, because he has the power. You know what? I don't accept a lot of things that they say about it. I do understand that there's men in bad relationships. I get that.
Do you not think she's
Harry,
abusive to him though, or do you think they're just as bad as each other? You don't think she's abusing him?
I think they're just as bad. I think that's just as bad. I mean, you know what people say, that Cressida Bonas and Chelsea Davy, they couldn't put up with the pressure of the palace and blah blah blah. First of all, that is BS. Chelsea Davy, the minute she met Harry, she knew who he was. She knew what the pressures were. If you really didn't want to have anything to do with it, after the first few months, you end the relationship. The fact that she was with him for years, it has nothing to do with the pressures of the palace, or that it wasn't for her. It was him, because he was cheating on her. He was nasty to her. He was cheap. The same thing goes for Cressida Bonus. Cressida grew up with him. Her mother was married to
Yeah.
Richard Branson. I mean, they are aristocrats. They grew up around them. They're very good friends with William and all the royal family. So they knew the pressures. And people are saying, oh, she didn't want to. And Cressida is even an actress. I mean, so, and you know, but it's not them. It's not the pressures of the monarchy. It's Harry. That is nasty. You know that Cressida said one time, and she posted something on Twitter or something. She said that for Valentine, Harry took her to a 20-pound dinner.
Oh no. Oh,
And
that's
she
sad.
posted a tweet saying, you may have titles. She didn't say Harry. You may have titles, but you're still a jerk.
Oh, that reminds me of somebody I know that went on a date and he bought one drink to share between them because he didn't want to buy two because it was so expensive. And that was really, really disheartening. I mean,
you know,
how can you
Alice
do
Knowles
that?
says, right, no one wanted him despite the perks that went with him. Now he's even more of a mess. Exactly.
No, I'm not trying to say I'm really don't. It's not like I love Harry and I think he's
No.
amazing.
There's nothing wrong with that. I have a lot of people
no,
who still have that reaction.
Yeah, but I think then I've said this before. I mean, you know this before. I think it's because I grew up with him here, and I think there's this nostalgic element of seeing maybe the child within him that I was quite fond of, and maybe I should get rid of that image
I think
and move on with my life.
I said this many times in my channel. It's not that Harry was a nice guy. It's just that Buckingham Palace did a fantastic job of selling an image of a man that's not there. That people are having such a hard time coming to grips that this is Harry.
So
left to his own devices.
The media machine has just infiltrated my mind and made me believe otherwise. But I personally would like the father and son relationship to get back on track somewhere. But however, he doesn't deserve to come back to the royal family. He doesn't deserve to have his titles. Neither of them do. And it was to do with the Remembrance Day, the reason why them pictures were taken down, because they deemed it as crass. But I believe he deemed it as crass because it was posted on the same day. I don't think she really cares. So he has a level of care. He has a level of conscience. He has a level of awareness.
Wait a minute. He released He released this news when William was landing in Rio for his Earthshot Prize, and he did that deliberately.
I'll say that again. I misheard that. Go
Prince Harry released the news that he's coming to Canada when Prince William landed on Rio.
Oh yeah, no, they're definitely in competition with each other.
No, Prince William is not in competition.
No.
Sorry,
he's in competition
Prince
with
William
them. Sorry, I do apologize.
Material. Prince William, that man is fine. I mean,
I misspoke. What I'm saying is they're definitely competing with them and they're very jealous of them. And I do feel like they do this on purpose. Every time something happens or they're trying to promote themselves, then they'll jump on it as well to try and take
they're trying to piggyback on the publicity that they generate. Like Meghan Markle posting that kiss thing with Harry that you can clearly see he wants to puke. They can both they can't stand each other. So she does it right as Catherine is coming out looking drop dead gorgeous, as if she's going to steal Catherine's thunder. Catherine walking out of that vehicle, rocking that, that beautiful emerald dress, that woman with that beautiful hair. That, I mean, she's a superstar, Princess Catherine. But this is what they do. This is the D-list kind of people they are. It's like wishing that Meghan Markle came back to the royal family. For what? I mean, for what? Why?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't. I don't think they'll ever get back in the fold in any way, shape or form. It's quite funny. Maria's put, he came out of the womb angry and a brat. Yes. I like that one. Yes. He is a very angry person, very hot-headed, let's put it that way.
What do you make of Fergie now is going to write a book, a tell-all book?
Wow, I've also heard she's doing a tell-all interview as well, whether that's true
or not. Yes, who she's doing it with.
Know.
I have my video on it, and I did a video about it.
Oh, okay. Do you want to share a bit of the video if you want to put it up?
Oh, no, it's okay. No, I did a video about Fergie because she's doing it with Oprah Winfrey.
Oh, shut up.
And Meghan, yeah.
No,
I did a video about it. Let me see if I remember, because, I talked about...
oh, dear.
I talked about.
I thought Oprah Winfrey is over. I was over and done with now. I thought she was in a bunker somewhere in
Oprah
California.
Winfrey has a huge chip on her shoulder that, Oprah Winfrey needs. I mean, Oprah Winfrey is angry that, remember when she tried to get Princess Diana to do her interview. She said, no, none of their serious royals or important them would meet with her. She sat across the Queen at Meghan Markle's wedding, but she's never really, she's got that chip on her shoulder that, like nobody, like she hates the royals because she wants to be one of them. Oprah's a jealous, envious cow. She's had Fergie. She championed Fergie because Fergie was bad mouthing the Queen. It's too bad that people don't have access to that interview. If you can Google Oprah and Fergie. The first time she went there, she was complaining that she only had a 4-bedroom apartment in Kensington Palace. She only had her suite, her sleeping room, her room, and then she had 2 bathrooms, the dining room, and the sitting room, and the baby room. And that she didn't even have a kitchen because she had to use the palace kitchen with all the butlers and everything.
Oh, that's really sad. I feel really bad for her. She's got no room, no space.
No, she didn't have a kitchen there because she had access. So Oprah sat with her, and then she started ridiculing the Queen for eating, because she said that the Queen didn't believe, because the Queen was very frugal. She said, if we're not using these rooms, don't put the heat on.
Yeah. It's
don't
expensive.
Turn on the lights. It's a castle. It's Buckingham Palace.
Yeah.
So she mocked the Queen when the Queen said, you couldn't have the lights on, when you were there. And she said, they wouldn't even allow me to open the curtains. If there was a reason for that, because there were people with lenses, if you think about it, it's not that they want to keep her in prison, just like Meghan is now saying.
No.
It's because, you know what, there's people with huge lenses trying to get your pictures, you stupid cow, That's why you can't open the curtains, for your own safety.
Yeah. I mean, she's almost like another Meghan, isn't she? She was very
another
about
Meghan.
She was about
Meghan to Harry, her and Eugenie.
Oh my God. This is the thing. Fergie's always struck me as somebody that is very fame hungry, a bit of a gossip, a bit not very sophisticated, hasn't really got that finesse about her, and she's always looking for a new way of making money. So it doesn't surprise me if she does this interview. What she'll say, though, I mean,
she's going for Camilla and for Catherine.
Oh boy! I mean, this is just going to get pretty ugly. I think.
You know why? I don't care what she says about Camilla, because Camilla befriended her, went out of her way to befriend Fergie. She brought her back to the court circular in 2016 when she arranged for an official. She wasn't the first time Fergie was back, and Prince Philip was livid. Prince Philip was livid when Camilla asked for Fergie to be put in the court circular for an official duty with her son, something to do with elephants. So she brought, and not only that, Camilla Parker Bowles went out of her way to befriend Fergie's mom, who was allegedly a mistress to Prince Philip. Why would you do that? Susan Barantes was Fergie's mom, and allegedly she was a mistress to Prince Philip. Why would you do that? But Fergie and Camilla are very tight, and she was she was the one who kept Fergie around. And not only that, when they went to that shameful thing that they did at the Duchess of Kent's funeral, it was with King Charles ordered to have police protection officers follow them from their rest at Royal Lodge all the way to the Duchess of Kent's funeral. That was with the king's approval. Why were they using royal police protection officers? That's insane. And they made a mockery of that. But Camilla didn't show up.
Well, I mean, Fergie and Camilla have always been close, and that's always kind of a bit of a worry now. What she's going to turn her back. I just
want these people to be gone. To tell you the truth, I don't want them around. I want the monarchy to be purged. I want just the good royals to remain. People who carry the torch with pride, where people can look at it and say, "Wow, we love our monarchy." Like you're proud of our monarchy. This is something that the Queen, in spite of all her flaws, she had earned our respect.
I mean, you can't. I don't really have anything to fault with the Queen. I love the Queen. She helped.
I
She
adore
was
the
the
Queen.
glue. She was a glue to the whole family. I've never really had a soft spot for King Charles, especially after all the Savile stuff. They were back and forth, writing
Peter
letters to
Ball?
each other.
How about Peter
But,
Ball?
yeah, exactly. So this is the thing. There's a lot of there's no smoke without fire, and I think personally that there is a lot more to that than meets the eye. There's certain things I'm not keen on. I didn't like the way he treated Diana. I didn't really like the way that things were handled when she died. And he's just, for me, he's not a personable person. But he's not. For me, Prince William is the person to rule here. To rule the UK.
This is
And
the thing
Princess
that
Catherine.
this is the thing with Isle of Shoals. Don't understand. If they've been honorable, what do they have to fear from Fergie? Surely William, Catherine, Princess Anne, and her husband, they don't have anything to fear from Fergie. But Charles, Camilla, they do. And Charles is the one in charge. And this is the thing that I've always said. Charles had too much of a past. And he should have never been made a monarch. He should have never been offered the throne, because it's up to Parliament to offer the throne. They could have said, you know what, you're not doing well, we're going to give it to William. Because William by then was, it's already a father. His kids are old enough, and the monarchy would have been hugely more popular than what it's going on right now. It would have cleaned the slate. No, instead we had to have this sham of a coronation, where Charles insisted that the very same bishops who denied him marriage to marry him and Camilla in church crown Camilla.
No, and you're right, and I think that the fresh blood this is a new era, a new generation. I do agree with you.
In the Mexican community, because I am pro monarchy. I'm not royalist. I don't follow a royal. I love the monarchy because it's kind of like a fairy tale.
You like the tradition, the history behind it.
The dream,
But it's very good for our country. For the UK, it brings in a lot of tourism, a lot of money, and I think it makes the place a little bit more magical, and I like that. I know it's very regal and very kind of extravagant, and maybe in this day and age the economy doesn't really warrant that kind of extravagance, but I do feel like it keeps a lot of our history intact, and without that we lose a part of our culture, and I would like to see it continue, but maybe with a modern twist. I do, but with a modern
monarchy
twist.
This is what people don't get. But they think that it's like saying, I love democracy. I love the fact that everybody gets to vote and has a vote. But I don't like when there's a corrupt president in power. Does that make me like democracy less?
No, not at all. No,
I don't want corrupt politicians or anybody, because at the end of the day, these people represent us, guys. Charles is the king of Canada.
Yeah.
So I want somebody. I love when the Queen was my queen, because of course I remember I have friends that are Republicans, and I don't mean Republican as the Republican Party in the United States. There's a party in the United Kingdom that's called Republicans, that they don't want a monarchy, they want a republic. And when the Queen died, they were crying. And I asked Frank, why are you crying? And he goes, well, the Queen's passed away, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, but I thought you wanted a republic and you were bad-mouthing the monarchy. And he goes, not the Queen. It's always that exception. I remember my friends who were Republicans, guys. I was in Norway at the time. I don't know if you remember this, when the Queen knighted Sir Captain Phillips.
Yes.
Remember the gentleman who started walking?
Yeah. The
he was
COVID.
An elderly gentleman.
Yeah, the COVID
guy.
She
knighted, I remember when she walked onto Windsor's grass, and the poor gentleman is standing there with his walker. And I mean, this gentleman, those are values at their finest. This gentleman who was a veteran doing something with a walker, walking around in his backyard to raise funds for his country. He still wanted to serve his country. And then we have the Queen walking out I was crying. I was
you've got
crying.
you've got to remember that generation, they lived through a different era of time. When World War II broke out, she was the glue that held our country together.
But
And
why? I asked you why.
yes, pardon.
She was respected because
She
her
was, yeah, but
behavior.
also there was a level of integrity and community here that we haven't had since then. We all
But
came
why?
together as a collective because it was a war and everybody was looking out for each other, and there was a
No, but even
solidarity
after that,
here.
the Queen
Yeah,
managed to live, I mean, 70 years. So a lot of things changed.
yes. Oh, of course. But
Even with
she
the age
kept,
of internet, nobody could. You know why? Because whatever was going turmoil was going in the Queen's
yeah.
marriage, or whatever the hell was happening, you
Mm.
couldn't tell. She put her family first. She
Oh,
put
yes.
her country first. She did her duty. She didn't bitch about it. She was nobody's victim. She was an icon. This
That
woman was a feminist icon. And to have Meghan Markle not put it in the cover that she invited herself to guest edit and vote, I was so livid.
Well, that generation didn't wear their heart on their sleeves. They had a stiff upper lip. They were stoic, and they just got on with it. And I think that time and that what they'd gone through at that time, it really set a precedent for the future as well. And it outlined, the kind of this shield that they all had. There's a different way of life back then, and she carried it through. And I think there's an element of nostalgia there, and an element of homeliness with her. She made you feel like you were at home because she's always been there. So I think that's why it's been very, very kind of distressing since she's passed, and that things haven't been smooth sailing. And it's not how things would have been done if she was alive. And I know there's all this other stuff about Andrew. And did she know what Andrew was up to? I think she probably had a guess that he was hanging around. Well, she knew he was hanging around with Epstein, but does she know the extent of
No,
what
I
was
don't think
going
so.
on? I
I
don't
don't think
know.
so.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, for example, at the end of the day, I remember one time the Queen gave, she was being interviewed, or not interviewed, but she was talking to somebody. She said something along the lines of, it's more important to do the right thing than the popular thing, because the right thing, if you do what's right, and however unpopular, with time, people will respect you for that, and it'll show that you were doing the right thing. Charles wants to do what's popular, not what's right, because he lacks the fortitude of character. Because if you have to do what's right, and that takes guts, because you're going to get a lot of clapback. In my channel, I get a lot of clapback because I don't back down for a lot of things. I'm not comparing myself to the Queen by any stretch of the imagination. That lady is an icon that I wish I could be the dirt under her little toe, but having convictions and say, you know what, this isn't right, and I'm standing by it. I don't care how much hatred I get.
Oh, well,
But
yeah,
I'm
you should
standing by
always.
it because it's the right thing to do. Charles is not like that. Charles is like Meghan and Harry. It's like, I'm going to do what's popular, not what's right. I want to be on the popular side. No,
Yeah.
popular kids are bullies, just like Meghan and Harry.
Yeah, and that is, then you're on the wrong side of history if you're going along with what really deep down isn't right, but you're going along with it anyway. And that is the thing. You do have to stand up for what you believe in, Paula. I completely agree with you. But what do you think is going to happen with the whole Andrew case? He's been named, I think, how many times?
He's not
100.
going to the U.S. He decided to refuse. He refused to appear before the Senate. Which is
Yeah,
stupid.
no.
Why isn't the Senate? Okay, I get it. I think Andrew should be investigated in the UK, bar none. I
Well,
really do in the UK, but I think the US should investigate their own first.
there was a rule that he couldn't be arrested at any time if he's around the
No,
Queen.
that's a law. You can't arrest anybody in the
Yeah.
presence of the monarch or in his residences.
But do you think that's also another reason why Prince Charles, why Prince Charles has removed him and removing himself as far away from the institution as
What are you
possible?
talking about, sweetie? He put him in his private state. You can't invade the monarch's state's private or
But do you
public.
think he's going to stay there though?
He has to. He's been horseback riding right now at Windsor.
Is he bareback horse riding?
No.
Oh my
He's not
God.
mounting like Harry said he was mounting. And did you see that Meghan Markle said that she was a prisoner at Kensington Palace? I mean, and this is what I'm saying. This woman was there for less than 18 months. officially, but she was not really there the 18 months. She was traveling all over the place. And even then, she's still bitching about she's going to be making things up about her short time in the monarchy forever. She's identifying as, oh, remember when she trashed William and Harry or Meghan or whatever, and that Harry and Meghan stupid thing. Oh, it was jarring for me because I'm a hugger. I'm a hugger. It was so jarring for me because, Catherine didn't give me a hug. Why would I want to give you a hug? I don't know you. You know what I mean? But not only that, because, the formality of Catherine and William, they thought they'd be warm. This is a woman who's now ordering people to announce her using a royal title from the colonialist people she hated and she claims that made her want to end her life.
Yeah. No, she's definitely she's a touchy-feely gal, apparently. We all know that history there anyway.
Not really, because if she's asking people to announce her as a duchess, you're putting up a barrier.
Oh well, no, but she's we know she's a contradictory character, but
she's a liar.
But also, do you feel like, as I know that the kind of the upper class in the UK do not like touchy-feely at all, whereas maybe the Americans are more hands-on with each other. And
not really. If you go to New York and you try to hug somebody, any New Yorkers on the chat, I can tell you.
Though. New York's
no. You go to the Midwest, anyway, in the United States, that is not a normal thing. And I tell you because when I was in Latin America, when you come and say hi and hello, you do give it one kiss on the cheek. And in Europe, in some places, it's two. But in the United States, it's a handshake at best. Most time people just
Americans are a bit more emotionally in tune with themselves, because we're not very good at talking about feelings here. I think we've got better as the years have progressed, but definitely not the older generations. They never spoke about their feelings.
Kelly, I'm American and I was taught to keep your hands to yourself. Yes.
Oh, okay. So there's no cuddling
I've
going
lived
on.
in the States. I lived in Virginia. I lived in Miami. I lived in New York. I lived in Boston. And I can tell you that people, I had to teach them, because I remember I went to a meeting and one of my friends was there and I came and I gave her a kiss on the cheek and everybody looked at me at the meeting like I was insane.
The Europeans kiss each other on the cheek. The French do kissing. Italian.
But this is the thing. We were in the United States. This is not a normal thing. The Americans are very direct. They're not known for their feelings, really. The Americans.
Are they not? But I thought there was a lot of, expressing how they feel. Therapy is a big thing out in America.
Okay, next time you go to the States, Victoria, just go into the random streets and try to hug a fellow American. See what's going to happen.
I'm okay. No, I think I won't bother doing that because I don't want to get.
If Meghan likes to be kissed by a lesser person, Meghan likes to hug as a form of control, and people that anybody try to hug her, she won't allow you to, because she chooses who hugs her.
No, of course, no. Well, you know what we were meant to be talking about anyway. We're meant to be talking about the cosplaying of Diana, and
that woman is sick. That woman is sick. Did you know that she got a scholarship to attend a community college in California? But she and her father wanted to attend that community college because he wouldn't have had to pay. But she chose Northwestern University because 3 years prior, Princess Diana had attended there. She had been given an award and she had raised money for cancer. She wanted to go to Northwestern University because of that.
Right.
I mean, this woman, and the fact that the press are now just saying that Meghan is cosplaying Diana just now after 6 years. How many years have we been calling this out?
I know. But there is kind of this theme of like, it kind of like a structure to all of these magazines. You've got Vanity Fair, Bazaar. Is there always kind of a certain way and look that they want to portray anyway when it comes to certain people, especially royals? Because I've got here, if I share the screen. Right. So why does it say I'm sharing something when I'm not sharing something? It's very bizarre. Bizarre. Right. Okay. Vanity Fair pick. So look, this again, I mean, I've got a million of these different pictures, but why? I mean, dressing like her is one
They
thing.
don't want to use the correct word, which is stalking. That's the
Yeah,
correct word.
but
Stalking.
it's
Single
weird.
white female stalking. You know that movie Single White Female, guys? You guys remember that movie Single White Female? Literally, we're watching Single White Female all over here. And I mean, the fact that Harry allows this to be put out there about his mother is insane.
Well, it's bizarre because he's sleeping with the woman that's dressing like his mum.
I wonder if she
That's
wears a
bor-
wig.
it
No,
borderlines on
I gotta correct you. Meghan Markle, and this is, I am told by very good sources that Meghan Markle was the one who leaked the story details that she hasn't slept with Harry since at least way before Lily was delivered, because he's taking his bald medication.
What does that stop you from having the
Apparently, that
having the
affects your
boudoir?
libido.
Oh, okay. I mean,
You haven't seen that article?
I have not seen that article. No,
Oh,
that is
dear Lord, wait a
insane.
minute. This is Radar Online. And this is on Radar Online. Okay, this is
Oh,
Radar
wow.
Online, and it's Prince Harry impotent. I did a video about it.
Oh,
I mean,
oh
because let me
no.
tell you, only people here.
Mm,
I'll share this
mm,
with you because it is
mm.
insane. It is insane. I mean, here.
Okay. I'll just stop that for a second. Right. And then why it has this weird thing going on this there we go. That's the stage. There you
Harry
go.
exclusive. Prince Harry's hair drug impotence risk doesn't matter as he's trapped in sexless marriage with Meghan Markle. And this is Radar Online in the United States, okay? And then they go on to say Prince Harry is risking serious side effects from hair loss drugs. But sources tell Radar Online, sources are Meghan Markle. He believes the threat of impotence doesn't matter because his marriage to Meghan Markle, it's already sexless. Who do you think is going to know that?
I mean, the thing is, why is he taking drugs for it? Can't you just get a hair transplant? Because that's a lot
God!
easier,
I'll
isn't
tell you
it?
something about that. I'll tell you something about that because
Yeah.
it's not as easy as people think. I'll tell you why. I
Well,
have a friend who's
I know
been through that,
you've got to have
and he
good,
tells me
healthy
that they have to
follicles
draft
first.
your
Yeah.
own hair. You can't put fake plugs
Yeah, I
in there
know.
because your body
Yeah,
will
yeah.
reject it.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
only have an X amount that are viable
Yeah.
to put
Yeah.
here. So I don't think he
Mm.
has enough that are viable. You know,
Well,
but
I mean, he's got hair. It must have to have
no, he doesn't have hair,
some.
sweetie. Harry's literally bald. But this is, who do you think is going to know that he's not having sex with Meghan? The Duke of Sussex has battled thinning hair. This was a hit piece from Meghan Markle. She wanted the world to know that they're not intimate, that he's taking hair, that his vanity is more important than the family because she's setting up her narrative for divorce. Prince Harry using hair loss drugs despite health risk. Both medications can slow hair loss, but carry warnings of headaches, dizziness, mood changes, and in some cases, erectile dysfunction and reduced libido. A source said, who would know that Harry's taking this? I don't think Harry's advertising this anywhere.
I didn't know you could take drugs for balding hair. I mean, I only thought the only way to, I mean, this is out in America. I know like drugs get passed through sometimes without kind of much.
No, but listen to this. Rumors Harry once underwent a failed transplant date back in 2016 when his temples briefly appeared fuller because it didn't take. Okay.
Oh, I see.
So it says here, but this is the interesting part that says here. Most, let me see, that they haven't had sex since Harry's under pressure. With everything else going on in his life, the last thing he wants is to lose his hair, and he's completely clinging onto it. Let me see, but there's a part here that says that he hasn't been intimate with Meghan since before Lily was delivered.
Do you think then if she dresses up as his mum that he might try.
Nope. But I can
It's
tell you
bizarre.
that this is not a good article that was put out there, and this was put out by Meghan Markle.
So why would she push that narrative though? Why would she want to
Because she's
introduce the
already started
sexless
discarding
love
him,
life?
sweetie. She wants the world to know that
Mm.
she's a victim. That Harry's so vain that he'd much rather
Yeah.
risk losing his family and his beautiful wife rather than being bald. Also, because in Meghan Markle's head, she cannot conceive that simply Harry doesn't like her, doesn't find her attractive anymore. So she has to blame medication for him not showing any interest in her.
Well, I mean, how long is he going to be on this medication for? Do you think this is all kind of like a ploy up until the point where she leaves him and she's got all this information on him and she can make herself out to be the
But the
the
thing is,
one
you know,
that,
like as much information as Meghan may have on Harry, he has a lot on her too. I mean, the fact that Marcus Anderson is everywhere with him, it doesn't bode well, does it? And I
no.
found out that they were very good friends. I have some explosive news because I've interviewed a supermodel that was friends with Meghan Markle in 2013, and she was on yachts all the time, and she confirmed that she was yachting with Meghan Markle.
When's that coming out?
The day after tomorrow.
Oh, can I interview you after you do it?
Yeah, it is. It is unbelievable. And you know what's shocking to me, Victoria?
Yeah.
Prince Andrew lost his titles because of his links to Epstein. Fine. Karina Shuliak was Jeffrey Epstein's last known girlfriend.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to share the images are there of Rachel Meghan Markle on yachts with Karina Shuliak and in the Mediterranean in 2014, right?
Okay, go for it.
Do you know that? Do you know
Yeah,
that
no,
or no?
no, I didn't know that. No, did you say you had the images?
Yeah, I'm looking for them so I can share them
No,
with
I
you.
didn't know that.
Well, here's
So you're-
Karina
so you're-
Shuliak. I'm sharing the image right now.
You're interviewing the model. You've already done the interview.
I've interviewed a supermodel that used to
Okay.
be a yacht lady. That's Karina Shuliak and Meghan Markle. That's Misha Nunu, of course, that other lady. Now, Karina Shuliak is on record stating that the only times she flew or was on a yacht or anything was when she was with Jeffrey Epstein.
Interesting.
Yet, in spite of the fact that these things are there, and Ghislaine Maxwell even gave some testimony about Meghan Markle being part of Epstein, and the fact that Virginia Roberts was going to call her as a witness because of her close past association to Prince Andrew, that would have made her a good witness because she would have either been a participant or would have seen it. No, the press is still not calling Meghan Markle or investigating her links to Epstein.
Well, there have been celebrities that have been named within the files. It doesn't say for what reason.
No, never mind that. I'm not talking about the files.
But
I'm talking about this.
But people have been named, so there could be a potential that she has been named in the files.
No, sweetie. You see, Meghan Markle back then was one of them nameless people who nobody really cared to know. I mean, even in 2015.
Yeah.
In 2015, Victoria. 2015. A year before she screwed Harry and stuff like that. She went to Istanbul she was flown for a weekend for the opening of Soho House in Istanbul. Who do you think flies women like that? She was a carpet filler. She appeared in the Daily Mail in a picture. And there was this famous singer that I like, British. There were all these British celebrities, and then they named them, and then they said, and guest.
Yeah.
The guest was Meghan Markle. This is in 2015. This woman wasn't even being named. Meghan Markle.
No. Yeah. That is true. So they're going to only have like the high-profile people from that point. But it's good to see that there's these pictures there. So she's the lady that you're interviewing, when you've interviewed. And so, what can you give us a little sneak
Well,
inside.
this
Mm,
supermodel, she was with her in the New York Fashion Week in 2013.
yeah,
And Meghan Markle was suddenly going to the Marchesa fashion
yeah,
shows. Why is Meghan Markle going to the Marchesa fashion shows? Who was the wife? This lady by the last name Chapman was married to Harvey Weinstein. Why would Meghan Markle, a nobody, be invited to those kind of events?
yeah. Unless she was part of the operation. Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
and I gotta tell you that Marcus Anderson, when Meghan moved to Toronto, nobody understood why she had moved here to Toronto
Mm,
because
mm,
Suits was filmed for 4 months. That's it.
mm,
Sarah Rafferty they rented a beautiful mansion for Sarah Rafferty in Roseville, which is the it neighborhood here in Toronto.
mm.
But where Meghan at the other end of town in the immigrants' place because they didn't understand why she was here the whole year. And Sarah Rafferty, who actually had a lot more airtime than Meghan Markle and was actually a proper character on that show, would come in at the beginning of April and would leave at the end of July, at the most beginning of August.
Okay.
So people didn't understand that. But Meghan Markle was spending most of her time in New York, in Dubai. Oh, and did you see the tweet? Did you see the tweet?
Which from who?
Oof, I'll show it to you right now, sweetie, because this
Male.
guy is how do you say this is a top guy from Wall Street. You can share it now.
Okay. John. Oh, was this today? No, this was just.
Meghan Markle is a
Oh.
yacht girl. She's one missed DM and a diamond necklace away from having been Jolo's girlfriend. And after she ended up with the wrong prince, she had her Dubai pictures scrubbed from the internet.
What the fuck?
This is John Lefebvre. Look. I mean, this guy's followed by 130 and signed contracts with Goldman Sachs and Simon Schuster. It's not the first time
Wow.
it's
Why
not
is he?
the first time he's
Okay.
exposed her.
Why is he doing that though? What is his
He's not
vendetta
the
with
first
her?
time because he was around her. He was part of he did a tweet when Meghan Markle first came into the royal family announced with Harry. He posted tweets saying like, "What? This is the yacht girl. I've been in yachts. This guy used to arrange these kinds of parties for people." And he knows Meghan Markle.
That's insane. I mean, to come from him as well, that's quite a big source.
Not
And
the
that's
first time.
No, it's also very relevant because he's somebody that could be probably his what he says is counted for. He would know that. So that's interesting, isn't it?
But he's been saying this for years.
But why do you think he keeps pushing that out there? Why do you
Because
think he's
people
running
keep
for her?
trying to put Meghan Markle as this virginal woman.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
know Harry.
Are you looking forward to December the 3rd?
For what?
We've got the Netflix series. We're going to be watching it together, Paula.
Oh, God.
Yeah, excited?
No.
We can learn how to wrap presents and we can learn how to hang a stocking.
But the thing is, I did my video today. Go watch that video. That video is really good. I did today because the reason why Meghan Markle is done and she doesn't know it is because people keep enabling her. No, people keep enabling her. She has never had anybody in her life tell her you're not talented. And there's an article that I because I talked about it with this supermodel, right? And it's like in that article that she did, Meghan Markle was interviewed in 2013 for her first fashion show, the first ever she attended in September 2013. She says that she felt like a princess being catered to.
Yeah.
So I wonder if her idea, so she knows what a princess is. So she talks about when being ranked, ever since back then, she wanted to be a princess. But in her idea, because for the first time in her life, she had Marchesa. And it's so funny because Zoe Saldana or Rachel Zoe or something like that, she was a stylist, right? And she was having a fashion show that week. Meghan Markle, you know how they give you seats, right? She had a seat, but she finds out when she gets to the fashion show that her seat had been assigned to a guest of somebody who was actually important, but she didn't bitch about it. She didn't say they were racist.
Well, the chip on the shoulder is rather large, isn't it? This is
No,
the
but at
thing.
the time she didn't bitch about it. At the time it was in
No.
2013. She
Oh,
just said,
no,
"Oh, they give it to him."
no. Where there comes power comes a lot of blown heads and massive egos.
No, I think that she just had an agenda to use the racism card when she got into the royal family just to get what she wanted, and to blame it on racism when she didn't get it.
Hmm.
That's basically what she did. Oh, you don't want to give me $2 million, whatchamacallit, wardrobe? You're racist. What do you mean I'm not going to be the Queen of England? You're racist.
Well, it's very easy to also misconstrue conversations as well, because I do feel like Prince Philip, I must play devil's advocate, he does have a tendency to say things that I would say are quite politically incorrect now in this day and age. And maybe
You know what?
she took
I
offense to
disagree.
that.
I disagree with that. Can
Maybe
you
there
believe
was
it?
a
Like the other
mix.
day, it says no. If we have to put things into perspective. Princess Diana did an interview with Prince Charles, and they did it for charity, right? It's an ITV. It's a very popular interview, and she says that the deaf and dumb. She's talking about people who are deaf. Back then, it was the standard to be called deaf and dumb. Doesn't mean that she's been belittling them.
Prince Philip did not update his dictionary.
Why would he? Why would I?
He lost the
get
memo.
You know what? I used to walk around on eggshells on my channel. Am I saying
Yeah.
what's politically correct? Why the hell should I? Because
No.
I know that, I said, screw that. It's he and she. I was politically incorrect. Now we come back around to sanity and people are understanding that it's he, she. That's it.
Well, yeah, no, I agree. I think you can't tiptoe around things. I think, as time goes on, I may become more like you, Paula, and not care.
Oh yeah. Let me tell you, my friends, they used to mock me. I remember kind of hear one of them said, "Oh, my little wetback." I didn't take offense to that. I thought it was funny. I just saw myself walking across the river, in Mexico, the border, whatever. I thought it was the funniest thing. I
do feel like you're rubbing off on me slightly, Paula, which is a good thing, I suppose.
It's like Ricky Gervais with his billboards. I
love him. I love him. I saw him live. He was incredible, and it's hilarious. I love that.
People are calling him and canceling. The mayor of London has canceled and removed his billboards in spite of the fact that
some of them were a bit too. They said it was a bit too outlandish. So one was about jumping out.
They were really funny.
One was about jumping out in front of a train. Don't do it. It's selfish. People will miss work.
But it's true. I agree with him.
I know. But I think
sense of humor. Now they're legislating sense of humor. I thought it was hilarious. I would be angry if somebody jumps on the train and then I'm delayed and everything, and then it's like,
it's not very
selfish.
It's not very sympathetic to those.
But no, you know what he's doing? He's
no,
you know what? I disagree with that, Victoria. I think he's trying to show how stupid it is to jump in front of a train.
Yes,
that's what he's trying to do.
No. I love Ricky Gervais. I think he's absolutely brilliant.
No, but you know what he's doing? He's taking the piss of people who think it's a good idea to jump in front of a train. He's branding it to a joke.
He's taking the mick, and he's saying everybody hold your phones in London because it gets nicked. That's true. It does get stolen. Everything gets stolen around here. It's like gang warfare. It's not that bad, but it can be. So they also said that Meghan Markle's show ranked number 383 on Netflix. So that means that it was basically right at the bottom of the heap. So
do you remember at the time, Victoria? And I'm going to ask you, this is what I talked about in my video today. The fact that Netflix rented those billboards in New York, which are expensive, to portray her everywhere. And they lied. And they said that her shows were like top 10, that she had even debunked Joe Rogan, but they failed to show the numbers. This is why I said in my video today that they enable her failure. And because they continue to enable and don't call her out, we still have this woman. Nobody she's over, she's finished, she's done. We've had Bill Simmons on record.
So do you think then this is the last series? It's going out with a bang. Christmas done. This is it. This is going to be it.
Well, what happened? Netflix has refused to put her products on their store right around Christmas.
Oh wow. Okay. So
And what was Meghan's response? Oh, we were never planning on putting my stuff in their stores. What are they talking about? They announced that they were going to be putting her stuff in the stores in Netflix. That's why Netflix invested to lose money.
Yeah.
And they
No.
announced that they were going to be selling them in the stores and on the mall somewhere.
I remember his polo series has gone very quiet as well. That's something else that's kind of lost.
Everything.
So we'll watch this together on the 3rd. And can I interview after you've put out your
and you can I'm here for you
on
always,
Thursday. Thursday. Is it Thursday?
Yeah, I'm putting it out on Thursday. Tomorrow I'm putting out an interview I did with Julia, which we talk about Meghan Markle being a prisoner in Kensington. And in the mainstream media, I mean, I have been blown away by Molly McPherson. No, I've been blown away by Molly McPherson saying that Meghan Markle was the victim to that reporter at Harper's Bazaar because she didn't have control of what was put out there.
She's very controlling.
Molly McPherson. She has a huge following on TikTok, and she calls herself a PR guru. She's interviewed her, and she's saying that, oh my God, why did Harper's Bazaar have to put that dig? Meghan Markle is doing so wonderfully. It was very smart of her to be a Martha Stewart.
She's not Martha Stewart. She's like a Timu version.
But I'm thinking,
it's a joke.
Molly McPherson, I watch her say that. I don't want her. I would never want her to do PR for me, because this woman is completely ignoring the fact that Meghan Markle has been accused of bullying on both sides of the Atlantic.
I think they're all getting paid off left, right, and centre to push a certain narrative. Nothing is genuine out here anymore. It's all fake and full of what you can get from that situation.
You're never.
Well, I love you, and I love everything you say. It's so beautifully elegant, and you're like my princess. You're my queen.
No, but talking about that. Did you notice in that Harper's Bazaar thing how everybody had to praise Meghan Markle, that she was perfect, that she was funny, that she was the smart one, that she was the best mother?
Lick her bum.
No, because in Meghan's world, she has to be perfect. And then she goes and says, you don't have to be perfect, but others say I am.
But it's an echo chamber, isn't it? They're all going to tell her what they want to hear because they all want to keep around the money.
This is what I'm talking about in my video today.
Yes, exactly.
The reason why this woman, they feed her craziness, her psychosis. They're feeding Meghan Markle's craziness.
Yes, you're feeding the devil because you want to basically, you're getting a slice of the pie, you're getting a slice of the action. Why would you tell her she's doing something wrong? What, to risk getting fired? Of course not. Oh yes, you're wonderful. Everything you do is fucking fantastic. Of course they're going to tell her that, because they don't want to lose their jobs and they want to be in the inner circle. They want to stay there and be around these crazy toxic twosome. But I love you. Thank you for joining me today. 1 hour 17 minutes. We smashed it. Paula, I could talk to you all day. But
we don't have to agree, guys. But I'm not rating or anything. But this is what two people who have different points of view talk. And I love Victoria.
I love you.
It's like we have to talk. And I know that a lot of times people say, "Oh, you're anti-monarchist, or you hate the royals, or you're sugar." I'm not, guys.
We can have
don't you guys want somebody to represent you, respect that, to take pride? Like I used to take pride on watching the Queen. But right now I'm not proud that Charles is the King of Canada. I'm not proud that Camilla is the Queen Consort. I wish William and Catherine were, because they represent the values that at the end of the day, remember all the people, no matter how hard Hollywood try to push that is not good, to the family unity is not good. This is why Hollywood failed. This is why woke failed, because at the end of the day, family values is what matters. Whatever the issues were with the Queen and her marriage, we didn't know about it. She presented a united front. There's no scandals about the Queen. All the scandals about the Queen are about her kids. And then you have Prince William with Catherine. They represent, when you look at the royals, you want to aspire to be like them. Do you guys honestly, hand on heart, think that you want to aspire to be like Camilla or Charles? No. But I do aspire to be like William and Catherine.
I don't want to be a tampon in... do you remember that conversation? Oh my God.
No, but you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like, When you look at William and Catherine, it's like they're
They
aspirational.
are. They're aspirational. They're wholesome. They're clean. They've just got a great aura about them and a great.
This is why William went on that show and said change is coming.
Good, and I hope it does. And like you said, somebody mentioned that Catherine did an interview on a talk about drugs. Is it a subtle hint towards, what she knows? Maybe, I don't know, but I do believe that there is going to be a definite change, definite shift within the monarchy, and we've got a lot of information coming out soon. Anyway, guys, if you haven't subscribed to Paula already, I know you probably all are subscribed to Paula anyway, so I don't really need to say it.
I saw a hater here in the chat, a few haters.
But please like and subscribe. Check your subscribe, because I've lost a lot of subscribers because I've been inactive. They seem to drop off. So just check you're still subscribed if you can. Like, share, comment. Love you guys. Thank you for joining us. It's been really great, and it's great to be back and to be with you again. So I'll interview on Thursday then, yeah? I'll text you once I've watched it.
Oh, yes, of course. Okay, sweetie. Have a great night, guys.
All right, I'll see you later. Thank you. Bye. Bye, bye, bye.